prophet of darkness.
Open your mind.
The prophet of darkness.
Welcome back to the Prophet of Thought series right here on Nubia Hood Radio, the sound of consciousness. I'm your host, X, and tonight we got a good show for y'all tonight. Tonight, we're going to be talking about light versus dark, the prejudices of our people, and I got a special surprise guest calling in. They're going to be opining on the subject. It's going to be a good show tonight, y'all. The conversation's probably going to get heated. I've been getting a lot of feedback on social media, so be sure to call in. Let me go ahead and give y'all the number now. It's 712-775-7031. That's 712-775-7031. Access code 840981. Like I said, it's going to be good tonight, y'all. We're talking light skin versus dark skin. We're going to be discussing the prejudices of all black people, because we do have them, y'all, believe it or not. So get ready. It's the Prophet of Thought series on Nubia Hood Radio. Let's go. Well, as always, we got to start this segment with Stop Complaining. I got a special Stop Complaining segment for y'all today. This one might really impress y'all and really keep y'all from complaining. Coming at you today is little Chelsea Wheeler. Now, let me read this to y'all. Chelsea Wheeler is a 10-year-old girl with a passion and a plan. She says, I want to open up a diner, while she sits on her bed in her parents' house in Oxford, Connecticut. She says, I'd like to make things that people think are yummy, healthier, less fatty, and make it like they're being cooked for the queen. Now, Chelsea loves helping her parents, Chris and Linda, prepare food for the whole family. They say she spends much of her free time watching the Food Network. All right? Now, y'all heard all that, right? Now, this is the thing with little Chelsea. Chelsea has to wear a special backpack for 16 hours a day to feed her nutrients intravenously. She says, my stomach doesn't work, and that's why I have a line. She says, because I can't eat real food, so I've got to have IV fluids. And so the line goes into my artery, so I don't have to have food to my stomach. Now, Chelsea has been sick all of her life. She suffers from a disease called mitochondrial disease. It's a energy production problem, meaning the mitochondria in cells don't function properly. Sorry, y'all. She also has tachycardia, or too rapid of a heartbeat. In addition to that, little Chelsea was diagnosed with intestinal pseudo-obstruction, a rare condition in which the intestine loses the ability to contract and push food through the gastrointestinal tract. This problem led to intestinal failure. Little Chelsea's life story is one of pain, suffering, and fighting. She has had to endure numerous stays at the hospital, more than 30 surgeries, and even went into life-threatening septic shock one time. Okay? But little Chelsea doesn't let it get her down. She still likes to prepare food. She likes making the snacks for her little brothers and sisters when they come, even though she knows she can't eat it. Okay? Even though she knows she can't eat it, she enjoys helping, fixing it. Because mind you, this little girl can't eat anything, y'all. All of her nutrients come through an IV. She absolutely, positively cannot eat. She has mitochondrial disease. She has tachycardia. And she also has intestinal pseudo-obstruction. But she still wants to open a little diner and restaurant. She wants to cook for people. She's a cooking channel buff. And she never complains. She just goes about her little life, even though she has all of those things wrong with her. So I say to you, no matter what you're going through, no matter how hard it may seem, no matter what you claim not to have, think of people like little Chelsea, the little 10-year-old kid who doesn't complain. You should do the same thing. Stop complaining. Now then, as I was saying earlier, we're going to talk about light versus dark, the prejudices in our neighborhood. And let me just tell y'all what prejudice is, because a lot of times us as black people, when we hear the word prejudice, the first thing our mind goes to is, you know, some black person getting mistreated by some white person just because they was black or whatever the case may be. But prejudice, I'm going to give y'all the definition. Listen closely. Prejudice is prejudgment or forming an opinion before becoming aware of the relevant facts of a case. The word is often used to refer to preconceived, usually unfavorable judgments towards people or a person because of gender, political opinion, social class, age, disability, religion, sexuality, race, ethnicity, language, nationality, or other personal characteristics. In this particular case, it refers to a positive or negative evaluation of another person based on their perceived group membership. Prejudice can also refer to unfounded beliefs and may include any unreasonable attitude that is unusually resistant to rational influence. It's usually described as a feeling favorable or unfavorable toward a person or thing prior to or not based on actual experience. In other words, you judge people, judge places, judge things without knowing jack diddly squat about them, which is stupid. And I don't care if you write me. That's stupid. And we as black people, now, let me make this clear before we even start. We as black people have been segregated. We have been pushed to the margins. We have been ostracized. And we have been, if not totally shut out of most processes, practically shut out of most processes, based on just the color of our skin alone. I mean, or should I say whatever they feel the color of our skin connects us to. Now, for us to do that very same thing to our own black people is, to me, just totally ridiculous. Now, tonight, when we get done talking, hopefully y'all have learned something. Hopefully your minds will be open, because that's what we about here at the Prophet of Thought series, opening minds. So hopefully your minds will be open, and maybe instead of just taking a look at other people, maybe you might take a look in the mirror and think about some of the decisions you've made regarding other people and the color of their skin, especially other black people, because that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the prejudice against white people or any other race. I don't give a damn about them tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about us. All right? So don't be writing in here talking about how we do white people. Not tonight, no. Tonight, we talking about us. And that's that. But anyway, I was looking on the internet today, and I decided to pull up the Willie Lynch letter, where they discuss, separating slaves, by color and all that kind of stuff. And you hear people refer to the Willie Lynch letter all the time. And, some of the people who talk about it, just by the way they're talking, you can tell that they've never really read it. They just, kind of heard somebody else saying it, so they saying it too. We got that problem as black people. We don't like to do our own research. Our research is having our friend tell us something. See, that's our research. That's no good. I suggest y'all pull the Willie Lynch letter up. And if you feel like you can't find it, you can write me on the email or write me through the site, and I'll make sure I get it to you, because I do have it. Y'all should read it. You should read it. And because it'll give you a fresh perspective on things. And whenever you out there, judging somebody because of their skin tone, whatever case may be, you refer back to that Willie Lynch letter, and I think that it would, open your mind a little bit to that. But anyway, I digress. The reason why I wanted to talk about this tonight, I've actually wanted to talk about this for a while. And maybe y'all have been watching TV or looking on the internet, and y'all see the controversy with Zoe Saldana playing Nina Simone. And social media has been a buzz, because they say, she's too light to be playing it. She doesn't have the features. She hasn't been through what Nina Simone went through, and blah, 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 blah. Now, that argument would have some validity if the woman wasn't an actor. Okay? It'd be different if she was trying to recreate Nina Simone's life. But she's not recreating Nina Simone's life. What she's doing is she's an actress playing as someone else. So I don't think it's necessary for her to have went through, the struggle, okay, the same exact struggle, just to be able to play someone on a movie. I was listening to my man Valdez, and he was talking about it, and he said something that I thought was really funny. He said, people say that. He said, Jamie Foxx ain't blind, but he was able to play Ray Charles. So that pretty much makes the case, So all the people that are saying that she didn't go through the same struggle or whatever, that's actually kind of ridiculous, y'all, because, she's an actress. So, I mean, come on. You don't expect every actor to go through whatever struggle the person they're playing. You think every actor goes through the struggle of the people that they're portraying? You are nuts. Okay, you're just nuts to think that. Because I say again, freaking Jamie Foxx played Ray Charles, and he played a good damn Ray Charles, but his ass ain't blind. So that's that. Yeah. But over that controversy, that's what made me want to do this. Because I've thought about it a lot, and I've always stood against it. Okay, I've always stood against us dividing each other by color and saying, this one's this way because they're dark. This one's this way because they're light. You know how the story goes. If you grew up, especially if you grew up with parents from the South like I did, they was always, you always heard people talk about, anything darker than a paper bag, and also kind of nonsense, just nonsense. Because when it comes down to it, all of us are black. Okay? When it comes down to it, all of us are black. So for us to judge somebody based on what the color of their skin is, I mean, not who they are, not their judgment, not their actions, not what they've done to you, but strictly on the color of their damn skin is ridiculous, especially being that for the past 536 years, that's what's been done to us. We have been judged on the color of our skin for 536 years. So if we turn around and do the same exact thing to our own people, we're just playing into a narrative that has been written for us in America. In America, we have been playing to that narrative, okay? And it's absurd for us to play to that narrative because I'll say again, all of our asses are black. So if you think that you are going to be able to do more than me because you are a darker skin tone or a lighter skin tone, or if you think you're going to be able to do less than me because you are a darker skin tone or a lighter skin tone, you're ridiculous. And obviously, you either hate what you see in the mirror or you like what you see in the mirror too damn much, okay? You're supposed to hover somewhere in the middle, okay? If you like what you see too much, that's a problem too. If you don't like what you see at all, that's definitely a problem. We want to hover in the middle, okay? We want to hover in the middle because, see, when we hover in the middle, what it gives us is balance, okay? What it gives us is balance. And once you start thinking somebody's better or worse than you because of the color of their skin, your ass is a bigot, okay? You're a bigot. Let us be clear. And I don't care who get mad. You can write my site. You can do all that. Fine, I'll take it. Compliments, complaints, questions, death threats, whatever. I'm just saying, if you're a person who judges people on the color of their skin, you are a damn bigot, and you're prejudiced too. You're prejudiced, because that is the very meaning of prejudice, to judge someone without knowing any damn thing about them. Nothing. Okay? Now, it's different. If someone has done something, if someone has exhibited actions to make you say, well, this person is this way, that way, that's different. Okay, you're judging someone's actions. But if someone walks up and you don't know jack diddly squat about them, and you look at them and you say, oh, this black ass person is this, that, and the other thing, or this yellow person is this, that, and the other thing, you're a damn bigot. You're a bigot, and you're prejudiced. Now, black people don't think we can be prejudiced, because we black. Oh, I'm black. There's no way I can be prejudiced. Yes, the hell you can.
Well, you can be racist.
No, because to be racist, you have to have power.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have power to be a racist.
Power.
Yes, you got to have power, But you can be a bigot. You can be a bigot, okay? And the last thing we need is a bunch of black bigots walking around showing off their bigotry to other black people, okay? Because we got enough stuff that divides us, okay? If you're going to find a reason not to like someone, don't let it be the color of their skin. Okay? Because guess what? There's probably 10 times as many people in this world that don't like you for the same damn reason. A lot of times, the way we are with one another, if we went somewhere and white people treated us that way, boy, we would be through the roof. We'd be ready to call Al Sharpton. We'd be ready to freaking go to the ACLU. We'd be complaining. We'd have a press conference. All that. If white people treated some of us the way we have a tendency to treat each other sometime, based on the color of our skin, we would be crying foul. We'd be crying foul. And y'all know we would. You know why we'd be crying foul? Because we would feel wronged. And the crazy thing is that same person who will cry foul when a white person do them wrong will turn right around and say, oh, look at that black ass whatever. Look at that yellow ass whatever. And we have become a race of walking contradictions. And that's another thing. I mean, we have become, we are so contradictory about the things we do. I mean, we like this group of black oxymorons. We're like, I don't know. Nothing really makes sense with us most of the time. We are so focused on the most petty, irrelevant things, the most infinitesimal things. And these are the things that divide us. That's why we are race divided, because of all of these little tiny instances, man, these little tiny things.
Well, you know how that started, right, X? That division.
Yeah, well, the divisions that exist with us now, we continue to perpetuate them.
Right, but how did it start? Started the Willie Lynch.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Willie Lynch letter, the Willie Lynch letter does play a big crucial part back in the day. But see now, I mean, the Willie Lynch letter was written in, I believe, 1712. So you talking 304 years. Okay, 304 years later, we still have that mind state. I mean, we as a people, we can't continue to follow these patterns that were created 200 and 300 and 400 years ago.
But it's so far gone. You know how a person, after a while, they constantly do the same thing. You can't, after a while, you can't change a person. So it's so far gone into it. So how do you change that? Because it is 300, and they said that in the letter. It said that you will be able to rule your slaves for 300 plus years after the letter was written. So, I mean, it's been programmed in us, and it's being programmed still in us every day. And we don't make it no better as a people. We don't change.
Of course not.
So how do you change it? How?
Well, I think for starters, and I say this a lot, that we need to teach our young. We need to teach our young. The Frederick Douglass has said this, and I'm surprised no one else quotes this. It's like I'm the only person I ever heard quote this from Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass says, "It is easier to raise strong children than it is to repair broken men." And I believe that because a lot of the people amongst us, I'm sorry to say this to y'all, but they're broken. Okay, they're broken. So it'll be a lot easier to bring up strong little ones as opposed to trying to repair the people who are already broken. Okay? A lot of times, that's what we have to focus on. We have to focus on our young people because, see, people like me, 20, 30 years from now, my ass will be dead and gone, probably. But 20, 30 years from now, the 5 and the 6 and the 7-year-old people will be in their 30s. So guess what? They will be taking over the reign. They will be doing the things that we're doing now. They will inherit this world. They will be the quote-unquote future. Okay? So we need to teach those little ones. Okay? We need to teach I could go on and on and on about how much we need to teach the little ones, you know? But I think that this is one of them. If we want to strengthen ourselves as black people, we got to start with bringing up those strong children. Let's forget about the broken ass people. The people that are broken, guess what? They probably going to stay broken.
But you can't say forget about them because they 9 times out of 10, they have children too.
Yeah, well.
And they got to raise them. And guess what? We got to deal with them.
Yeah, but we can't. Yeah, we're going to deal with them. But see, adults that have problems, guess what? The only way the problem is going to be fixed for adults is if they want the problem fixed. Okay? They have to want that problem fixed. Little kids, you can shape them. You can groom them. You can grow them. You can't do that with a grown-ass person, especially if they 20, 30, and they already set in their ways. Chances are that's how they're going to be. It's hard to change, and it's definitely hard to come at a person with open-minded concepts if they are a closed-minded person. Okay? See, children, they pretty much live what they learn.
Right.
They live what they learn. Okay? So we have a stake in that. We can make sure that they're learning the right things. We can make sure that they learning to not only see people for what they are, but never see anyone in a derogatory way just because of the color of their skin. Okay? I mean, it's one thing to look at a person's actions and say, well, this person is messed up. But if a person is walking across that parking lot outside and I look at him and I say, oh, man, this dark-skinned brother, he's jacked up. Or this light-skinned brother is jacked up. That's wrong because I don't know nothing about this brother. We at least have to teach people to assess people based on their actions, not just by how they look. And when I say how they look, I don't mean just color of skin, their hair, their clothes, their anything. They're anything. Now, people always say that the Bible says don't judge, and that's a lie, okay? It does say that, but you need to read the whole thing. See, what the Bible says is, thee shall not judge, or thee shall be judged by the same.
I must say something.
Okay.
Because a lot of people out there, and I'm going to say that, a lot of people out there think that just because they sin look a little bit nicer than the other is not the same. So a lot of people do judge, and they got to remember, a sin is a sin. You can't judge. If you sin, you sin. When you wake up, you might do a sin, and you might not even know about it. So you can't judge somebody off of something that they do, because guess what? Your closet ain't all squeaky clean. Just because you're not out there busting it open don't mean that you ain't do something the other day that wasn't right in God's eye. So don't try to act like, yeah, go ahead, Brother X. Keep going. I just had to throw that out there when you said something like that.
I mean,
they got to realize.
The Bible doesn't tell you not to judge. It tells you can judge, but you must be judged by that same merit. So if I'm going to judge you, I must be prepared to be judged by that same merit.
That's right.
Okay? If I'm going to judge you on the color of your skin, guess what? You have the very same right to do the same to me. Mm-hmm. You have the very same right. Okay? And like I said before, a lot of times if white people or Hispanic people or Asian people did to us what we have a tendency to do to other black people, we would be crying foul. Mm-hmm. We'd be crying foul because we have this thing where we divide each other up. We divide each other up by color, and we say that this one's this way, this one's that way, because of color. And to me, that's stupid. Okay, and I don't care who don't like it.
Well, I'm gonna say some light-skinned people, they do have this uppity nose up in the air type attitude. They do. I'm telling you, they do. To me, that's just my opinion. I mean, being around light-skinned women, they think they look better than dark-skinned women. And 9 times out of 10, they put light-skinned women in the light anyway. Even in music videos, they put them more in the light than they do dark-skinned women. Why is that? I wonder why.
Well, I know in America has this thing called an SOB, a standard of beauty, right? And we have bought into it that, what the white man say is beauty, right? So people who are in the media and entertainment and television and things of that nature, they often imitate that, the lighter girl looks better, the girl with the straight hair looks better. And we as black people, we have a tendency to pick up on that. I say this all the time. We look at ourselves through the white man's eyes, and I think a lot of people don't understand that. But we look at ourselves through the white man's eyes. So what they think the standard of beauty is, we buy into it. But see, when you talk about prejudice, though, and I'm going to say this too, because see, I'm a man. See, men, we don't really have that thing going on. Most of us, we just don't.
That's not true.
We don't give a damn a brother being light skinned, dark skinned. We don't care.
That's not true.
It is true.
They have. I'm gonna say Charlemagne. If he has Charlemagne, right? He always talking about waffle colored. And he's a man.
Yeah, but that's.
And he's always talking about light skin and dark skin.
Yeah, but that's 1 out of like 99 million.
No, it's more out there.
1 out of 99 million.
I'm telling you, it's more out there. It is more out there. It's more women and it's more men nowadays talking junk about, oh, all the women want to go to one of them light-skinned pretty boy looking niggas. That's all they want out there. That's what they say. I'm telling you.
But see, as men, we don't judge brothers on their color. We don't. When we look at a brother, we go by his actions. We go by his actions. Now, if his actions lean negative, then maybe we'll say, well, this, that, and the other thing, and we might mention his color. But on his approach, women can't say that. Women always got something to say about the dark one, the light one, the dark one, the light one. They are the most prolific. They're the most prolific with it. And they're the ones who rock the cradle. So that's where our problems lie, too. I mean, we got these little girls growing up thinking that I need to be this particular way to be accepted. And anyone who isn't this particular way will not be accepted. Okay? That's something we don't really have in the male spectrum, where we have it so young brothers think that they have to look a particular way to be accepted. That's something we don't have as men. But women do. They have that. They need a certain hair. They need a certain eye color. They need a certain hair consistency. They need their skin need to be a certain color. They need to be this. They need to be that. I mean, we don't have that big of a dynamic with that in the male part of blackness. We don't. It's not that deep on our side of the spectrum. But on the other hand, being that women do have this dynamic amongst them, that it does affect males, because guess what? Women are raising these males. So if a male is being raised by a woman who has this perception, it will affect him ultimately, I think, because women have a tendency to say men are color struck. Okay, that all men like light-skinned women and all that. And me being a man, that is not damn true. It's not true. Most men have preferences just like women do. But let me tell you something. If you're a man and you like black women, if a dark-skinned woman walk up and look good, you ain't gonna not give her no time because she dark-skinned. Just like you give a light-skinned woman that look good time, you'll give her time too. See, men go for features. Okay? Doesn't matter what the hell your skin color is. Your features is what attracts him. He don't care if you black as a boot or yellow as a banana. If your features is there, he's there.
I agree and I disagree. No, that's not true. That's not true, because when I first got with my husband, I'm telling you, I remember he had it that light-skinned girls was his thing, and I asked him, I said, why you like light-skinned chicks? What's the thing with light-skinned? He gave me the dumbest answer. I mean, we was young, though. If he's listening, I'm sorry, I have to tell his story. But he gave me the dumbest answer. He said, because when I smack them on their ass, I could see my handprint. That's why he said he like light-skinned chicks. I'm just saying. So you can't, I don't want his no features and all that. No, I'm telling you, you got men out there that has, you know what? Y'all need to call in, for real. Mm-hmm. Y'all need to call in and y'all need to say something about this topic, because I want to hear. I just want to hear. I want to hear it. I want to hear why, how, what's the reason why you choose light skin or dark skin, or maybe you're just a good man. You just choose both. You just don't care. That's just what it is. As long as you don't go out there and get your white girl, it's good with me. I'm just gonna tell you. I gotta throw that out there. No white girls, okay? Black men, stay away from the white girls. I'm telling you. Stay away from the white girls. Stay away.
Well, I've been with women all the spectrum, the whole color, the spectrum of the rainbow. So none of them are particularly different from the other. I mean, when I was younger, when I was coming up, okay, usually it was the dark-skinned women that you gravitated to, because the light-skinned women had a certain kind of thing with them, or whatever the case may be, when you talk to them. So when you gravitated towards dark-skinned women, because dark-skinned women were they were more feminine. They weren't as uppity. They were more down to earth. And they also didn't have that They didn't have that fly up their butt kind of thing, when I was younger. But now it's not like that anymore. It's not like that anymore. Women are women now. Okay, they're the same. Okay, they're just like it's uppity light-skinned broads, it's uppity black broads too. So it's not like that anymore. But I say that to say this. Society has made it so that we are divided by color. You know why? Because society has such a prejudice arc. The United States is based on racism, okay, and bigotry and prejudice. The society is American society is based on that. So of course it's reflective in our world too. But I want to show y'all something. I pulled this thing up from this site that I never freaking go on. I just happen to find it. It's called Bougie Black Girl is what it's called. And their tagline is, I am a proud African American woman who loves to discuss the issues that empower black women. Now, they made a list, okay? Now, I don't necessarily know if I agree with this list or not, but they made a list, and this list is called 30 light-skinned privileges light-skinned blacks have that dark-skinned blacks don't.
Willie Lynch.
Now,
favor the lighter one.
We're going to go through them.
Make them your best slave.
Number one, they have the ability or not to acknowledge that colorism exists. They can be recognized as a symbol of post-racism. Number three, it is assumed that you are race neutral when issues of race are raised. Number four, being standard of beauty in black and Latinos community. We spoke about that earlier, y'all. Being called black based on the antebellum era one-drop rule. Being racially ambiguous. People automatically assuming you are mixed, and it is seen as a positive attribute. It is automatically assumed that you are more intelligent than darker members of your racial group.
Because they was in the house, the light-skinned people was in the house while we was in the field.
Now you know that's BS.
And tending to the animals.
Because when I was young, I had a couple light-skinned friends, and they were dumb as rocks.
I'm sorry, Marcus. So, you're light-skinned too. Yeah.
So that one don't hold true. Not being seen as angry, unlike the darker members of your racial group. Being considered less threatening by the Eurocentric mainstream based on the color of your skin. People not making the assumption that you grew up poor, unlike your dark-skinned counterparts. Being allowed to recognize the variety of your racial ethnic heritage without ridicule. Within African American culture, being called a red bone is regarded as a compliment, while being called dark skin is considered derogatory. These are funny. Having someone tell you that your light skin is better than dark skin. You can color, dye, relax, or weave your hair without it being seen as an act of self-hate.
What?
The assumption that your relaxed hair and chemically processed curls are actually your natural texture. Not being told that you are pretty for a dark-skinned girl. Your skin color being valued by some who purposely want to erase their ethnicity and hates their own skin color. Taking advantage of skin color privilege depending upon the situation. For example, applying for a scholarship for African Americans and Latinos and later passing other than a minority. Wow. You have a better chance of landing a job than a darker person with the same credentials.
I believe it. I believe it.
Oh, shit. You have better opportunities for education and job prospects. Because of your light skin, Your relatives may have had access to black sororities, fraternities, and other organizations that promoted interracism. Your images are reflected in all forms of the black and Latino owned media. People who look like you rarely portray that stereotypical maid, downtrodden, sapphire, and dysfunctional black women roles on television. You always play the black and Latino wife on television.
It's true. That's true, though. It is true. It is true. Most of the dark-skinned ones look like Mammy. They always made them look like Mammy on TV. Most of the dark-skinned women, they was always Mammy, and then the other ones was all light-skinned. They was in dances and all kind of stuff on the movies and on the shows. Back in the day, too.
Mm-hmm.
It was always like that. That's what I'm saying. Separate them by color. Favor the lighter one. Bring them into the house. Teach them how to read. Teach them how to write.
Right.
Throw the darker ones in the field so they could tend to the cotton and the animals. And we still stuck with that same brain.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but that's the problem. The fact that we have picked that up. Like we have carried it over. I mean, because let us be clear. I mean, us as black people, man, we done been marginalized so much. The last damn thing we need to do is be marginalizing each other. Okay? We don't need to be marginalizing each other and saying, you know, this one's bad because they black and this one's good. This one's good because they light and all this kind of nonsense. Because, like I was saying earlier, I mean, I had a couple light-skinned friends when I was young, man, and they were dumb as stones. Now, people might have would have looked at them and said, oh, they're smarter than that guy. They would have been freaking wrong. I had more brains in my fecal matter than they had in their freaking heads. So, I mean, come on. So, for us to judge, you know, for us to judge people based on the color of their skin, what they look like, man, we're doing the same thing to each other that America has been doing to us all these years. And to be honest with you, it's something else that just keeps us divided. You know, if you think you better than me because you lighter skin than me, don't go by your skin. Prove it. Prove that you better than me. Prove that you smarter than me. Prove that you more intelligent than me. Prove that you are a better radio person than me. Prove to me that you're a better mechanic than me. Prove to me that you can do anything better than me. That's how we'll settle. You think you better than me? Fine, prove it. Because your ass being lighter or darker, boy, ain't gonna cut it for me. Trust me. You ain't gonna convince me that you better than me because you darker than me or lighter than me. Okay? You think you better than me? Prove it. That's it. If you think you better than somebody because they're lighter or they're darker, you know what you do? Prove it. Prove that you better. Okay? Because you just having a skin tone ain't proof worth a damn. Okay? Or what it is proof that your ass is black. That's what it is. But we about to go to a little break. You listen to the Proper Thought series on Nubia Hood Radio, the sound of consciousness. When we come back, we want y'all to call in. Let me give y'all the phone number, 712-775-7031. That's 712-775-7031. 840-981 is the code if you wish to opine. If you don't know what opine is by dictionary, we'll be back. You listen to the Proper Thought series on Nubia Hood Radio, the sound of consciousness.
Waiting for
Welcome back to the Proper Thought series right here on Nubia Hood Radio. Before we left, I was running down the so-called advantages that light-skinned blacks have over dark-skinned blacks, which I think is totally ridiculous because when you're talking about visual advantages, I don't think that's much of an advantage. I mean, if a person is going to give you a benefit because of the color of your skin, they too are exhibiting prejudice. Okay, not on your credentials, not on your mind state, not on your ideology, but because you look a certain way. It's like totally prejudice. And me, I wouldn't do that. I just wouldn't. If I got a company and somebody come to me for some work, I'm going to judge them on their merits. I don't give a damn what they look like. If you can do the job, you can do the job, whether you're black, blue, green, purple, orange, fat, skinny, whatever, okay? I don't need somebody that look a certain way. I need somebody that can do a certain job. So people who are doing that, you need to stop, okay? You need to stop doing it. You need to stop. We got a call on the line?
Hello, caller.
You're on the air. You're on the air with the Proper Thought series. 919. Hello.
On to the next.
I guess they're just listening. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we got to stop doing that, man. We got to stop doing it. We got to stop doing it to each other. We got enough stuff being done to us. We don't need to be doing it to ourselves, too. I mean, I can't say that enough up on this radio show.
I mean, yeah, there's more stuff out there, of course, than, dark skin and light skin. But it's male and female, too. Got a lot of males out here that think that they're better and they can do things better because they're men. That's not how the world works.
Because they're men.
Yes.
Yeah, well, they also see. This is the thing. I don't want to get into a male and female.
Why it's the same thing? Is race and it's the same thing?
Because you hear women talk about they want equal pay, they want equal this, they want equal that, and that's fine. But me, I'm what you call a blue collar worker. Okay. Now, if a woman wants to come and work with me, and she wants to get paid as much as I get paid, that's fine. But when it comes time to pick up that 200-pound piece of machinery, you need to be able to pick it up.
Yeah, well, maybe they can. Just because they're a woman. I mean, come on.
Now, come on. Daggone well, men and women cannot do the same exact job. Because what I do, I don't think...
It's some jobs that I'm not going to do because I don't want to break my nails. Yeah, that's just the facts. But I'm just saying, there's some women out there that... Who just
said something about...
Oh, there go our surprise guest. What's good, man?
Like I said.
What's good with you, man?
What's good, Brother Valdez? Everybody, Brother Valdez is on the line, the Angry Man from the Angry Man channel. Y'all might have seen it on the promo. That's our surprise guest. What's good, man? What's good?
The notorious woman hater.
They don't know nothing about it. They think I'm something, boy. Wait till they get a load of you.
So you're a chauvinistic person too? Yes, I did. I said that there are some jobs that I'm not going to work because I don't want to break my nails. That's what I said. Now, there are some females out there that will work hard jobs. Yes, there is. There's a lot of females out there. But I'm not one of them. And I'm not going to sit up here and say that I am. It's just a fact.
Well, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. You can't have your cake and eat it too. If you want to be, if women, not necessarily you, but women in general, if women want to be treated equally and get equal pay, and be put on the same level as men, like y'all gotta dig them ditches and take out and pick up the trash too.
Yeah, those women that do those women that do want to have those jobs, like I said, those women that want to work those hard labor jobs. I mean, to each his own. God bless you. If you want to do it, you want to do it. So if they work in them hard labor jobs right along next to you, yeah, they need to get the same pay because they doing the same job.
What's good, man?
Right.
I mean, I feel what you're saying, but it like the way you presented it just now, you presented it like it's an option. Like it's not really an option. Like the infrastructure of this country runs off of mostly men doing them type of jobs. Like them dudes don't want to do them jobs. They don't want to dig ditches and be coal miners and work on oil refineries and stuff like that and risk getting killed. They don't want to do that stuff. They do it because, you know, it pays well or something like that. But then you got women that will say, well, I'm not going to do that job because I'll break a nail. Like if dudes had that mentality, the country would fall to pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whatever.
Am I wrong? Like, did I say something wrong? Like,
I mean, I said what I said. Like I said, those women that do want to do those kind of jobs, okay, and they're standing next to you in the coal mines and oil and every damn thing else, guess what? They need to get paid the same amount of money you getting paid. So that's just my thoughts.
I challenge any woman listening out there to come try to work alongside me for 2 hours. Forget a day. 2 hours, I'll have your ass hacking, breathing, and ready to go home. I challenge any woman to come work. Do the work that I do. I challenge any woman out there who think they can. Okay, and I'm talking about do it for real, not take concessions on you because you're a woman. I mean, do what I do. I challenge any one of you. You can write my site. You can write the Facebook page. You can write whatever you want. We can set it up. I have some work out there for your ass, and we can get it on and popping, ladies. That's what I said. What I do, I'll do even better. I'll challenge you to work as hard as my little helper. Forget me, because you don't stand a chance working alongside me. That's like a slaughter. It would probably take 10 of you. I will challenge you to work with my little helper. Do what he do. That's the challenge. Do what my helper does. Forget me. You don't stand a chance. But you can work alongside my helper, and he'll have you hacking, breathing, coughing, spitting, slobbing, and ready to go home in about 30 minutes.
Wah, wah, wah.
But anyway, we was talking about, we done digress, Brother Valdez. We done digress. We was talking about light and dark. And I was saying that men, when it comes to us as a group, normally we don't divide ourselves by way of skin color. That's more of a woman thing. We don't really divide each other by skin color. That's something we don't really do. I mean, you got exceptions to every rule, but for the most part as men, we don't give a damn what color dude is.
Nah, it's juvenile. That's something we did when we was kids, but we grew out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like.
What do you mean by we? You mean all men?
I mean most men. The majority of men, like when we younger, we had a little debates about, oh, you know, that nigga got that chick because he a little red nigga. He think he pretty, or you know, you might have a dark skinned dude. Oh, he think he can fight. That nigga probably can fight because he dark skinned. Like we grow out of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Once we get to a certain age, we stop looking at it that way because we all, as black men, we all share a common bond. Like we go through the same type of struggle regardless of what type of black man we are. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it doesn't really make no difference what our skin tone is. Like, I honestly believe that the reason, you know, black women still have issues with that is because a lot of sisters, especially darker sisters, believe that we as black men, that we favor lighter women. Like we think, and really that's something that comes from just being color struck and thinking, oh well, she thinks she's pretty because she's yellow or she light skinned or she got straighter hair or whatever. And really at the end of the day, I can't speak for all the fellas, but I can speak for myself. Like, I never really look at a chick and be like, yeah, I'm going to talk to her because she's light. Or, yeah, I'm going to talk to her because her hair is straighter. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I see a chick that's dark and she bad, I'm going to be like, oh, shit, let me holler at her. It's just a natural instinct to talk to her. You know what I'm saying? We don't really sit there and divide women up in the categories like that. We really don't.
Nope. We don't. And we definitely don't divide ourselves as friends. I mean, that doesn't dictate how we get along as men. It just don't. Women can't say that shit, though. Not one woman can say that. Not one woman can say that.
I can. What? Huh? How you saying that? How is that even humanly possible that you're even saying that? Oh, so men don't do it, but women can't say that. Come on, man.
Because women are more prejudiced than men.
Yeah. Okay. What's the name of the show?
Yo, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
My thing is, this is how I break it down. This is how I break it down when it comes to women. Like, a lot of women, y'all say, well, you can't generalize statements about women, or you can't say all women do this or all women do that. But you kind of can. And as much as y'all might hate to hear that, when you're it boils down to the biology of women. When you're not really a analytical thinker first and an emotional thinker second, when you're emotional first, it kind of makes y'all reactions the same, because human beings have emotional responses that are very similar. Like, the way I broke it down in one video was, women try to say men are like dogs and we're like dogs' best friend. And dogs are our best friend. And to a certain extent, it's kind of true. But the thing you notice about dogs is each dog is different. Like, a Rottweiler is different from a Pit Bull. Pit Bull is different from a Doberman. Doberman is different from a boxer. They're all different. They fall into different mental categories as far as their behavior and stuff. But then at the same time, women get equated to cats or felines. You know what I'm saying? But cats, if you notice cats, all cats do the same shit.
They all do
the same exact thing. The same exact thing. And as much as, like, anytime, like right now we're having a logical discussion. So the ladies on here, y'all are going to engage in a logical discussion, and y'all are going to be logical. But that's because there's nothing in this situation that's making it emotional. The moment it becomes emotional, all that logic is going to fly out the window. Like,
I tell you what, I'm pissed off about what y'all saying, because y'all are bashing women like there's no tomorrow. And then the host over here, he's saying that there is no problem. There is, all women are the same. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand that. How you don't? You're not gonna cut me off either. You're not gonna cut me off.
My bad.
Anyway, like I was saying, both of y'all are being very ignorant. No, both of y'all are being very ignorant about saying that, oh, women can't say this and women can't say that. How? And then I'm sitting up here being fair, saying that not all men are the same. Not all men just judge if you're dark or light skinned. But you're sitting up here saying that all women, we do it all the time. Like, that's just what women do because we act like cats. Like,
all right, well,
so we the same. So we the same because we act like that. Sound like some dumb shit.
I'm sorry.
That sound like some real dumb shit.
Let me interject.
It really does.
Let me interject for a second. This conversation, just like any other debate that I've ever had or discussion that I had with a woman, where I made that statement, the response you just gave me is the response I always get. First, you get offended. Number one, you get offended.
Yeah, we're ignorant.
Say something like, you go to ad hominem and give like an insult, like, oh, that's ignorant, or that's the dumbest shit I ever heard. And then you don't want the person to interject. So what you do is you try to talk over the person, and you keep going. But the thing about it is, it's called context. You understand? If I was to say to you, oh, well, that particular behavior is similar to this. Like, just the fact that I used a cat as an example was cool. If I'd have used a dog as an example, you really would have went off.
Well, I don't judge like that. I don't judge men like that. I don't.
Hold on, I'll let you talk, and now you're cutting me off.
Oh, you're doing too much. Just get ahead and say what you need to say.
Notice I won't insult you, though. Now, if I would have said a dog or something like that, instead of looking at the context in which what I'm trying to, convey to you, you're gonna say, "Oh, that motherfucker called me a dog." You know what I'm saying? Like right now, it's like, "Oh, you're trying to say all women are alike." You kind of are. That's why you fall into the category of woman. You know what I'm saying? If you know the nature of something, you know what it's capable of. You know what its average response is going to be. You know all of that. You know all of that. And the thing about it is, the moment that I said something that you disagreed with, you went into an emotional response. But if I was to have that same conversation with a man, he's not going to have the same type of response. I couldn't tell you. I might have this conversation with one dude and he react one way and another dude react a different way. But every single time I had that type of discussion with a woman, the response is always the same.
Preach, brother.
So
preach.
I'm not talking about things that I haven't experienced, and I'm not making broad statements that don't occur every day. Like if you want to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, prove me wrong. But it's impossible because your response is an emotional response. It's not a response that's based in logic and clear thinking. It's a response. It's a reaction. It's not an action. It's a reaction.
So, Brother Valdez, do you think that, like, when we have a tendency to judge each other on skin tone and skin color, do you think that that's like, do you think that that's a reaction? Is that a reaction? Like, if we see somebody that's darker than us or lighter than us, whatever case may be, is that a reaction? Okay? Or is that an emotional response to that person because of whatever you have inside of you? What do you think that is?
A lot of it is programming. A lot of it is programming from us just being an American culture where every single thing that is associated with black people is considered evil. You know what I'm saying? So the darker a person is, if you're still in that mindset and you're still programmed like that, you're going to equate dark to evil. So you're going to think, oh, well, dark brothers always fight. Or you're going to equate dark to the Webster's dictionary, which is tainted or dirty or whatever. So you're going to look at it like, oh, well, darker sisters aren't as pretty as light sisters. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of dudes and females who are still programmed in that mindset. You know what I'm saying? To the point where like, for instance, I had a discussion with somebody about the word nigger. And the word nigger, actually, if you go back far enough, it does not have a negative meaning to it. Mm-mm. But because white people use it in a negative way, now it's become something that's just purely negative. And I have to tell people, like, yo, just because white people say this word means this, that doesn't mean that's what it means. They also say that black is ugly or black is dirty and white is pure. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really boils down to programming. Like, once you get to the point where you don't view the world in that light, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna view it that way. But there's a lot of people that do. Like, if I was to tell somebody that I thought, let's see, who's an example? Like, if I was to tell somebody, especially a black woman that's dark, if I was to say I liked Amber Rose and I thought she was pretty, she's gonna automatically say, oh, you only like her because she's white. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Which ain't the case, because I think Angelina Jolie is ugly as sin. You know what I'm saying? It just boils down to, with me, I don't know about every dude, it boils down to the features of the woman. And then once I'm around her, the features. The features.
Not necessarily her color. I mean, if you a nice looking broad, you a nice looking broad. I mean, if you an ugly ass broad, you an ugly ass broad. Whether you red, blue, green, yellow, orange. I mean, ugly is ugly, nice looking is nice looking. I don't think nothing necessarily makes you look not nice looking just because you have black skin. Okay? If you black skin and you ugly, you ugly. It ain't got a damn thing to do with your damn color. You're just ugly. You know? And I think that that's a big thing too. You know, you hear people say, Because they always attribute it to us more than anything else. They always say that the brothers are color struck. Oh, y'all favor light-skinned women. You know, they say that. Women say that. They say that we favor light-skinned women.
Well, see, it's passing the buck. See, black women have a tendency to project. They project a lot of their issues and their flaws onto black men. So they'll say that, oh, black men are color struck, but you know what I'm saying? Like I've always given both, whether you're dark or light, an opportunity. I've dated dark and light, but I remember being younger and having chicks tell me I don't date red niggas. You know what I'm saying? Or I've seen chicks say I don't date dark niggas.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never. Have you ever seen a dude turn down a chick because she was dark or light?
Nope. It happened to me too. You know, where the chicks say, "Oh, I don't like you because you're too dark," or "I don't like," you know, for whatever. "Oh, you're too dark. You're too black. You're too this. You're too that."
Yeah, you're too dark.
Yeah, that's what
we got
they
other
say.
Callers.
That's what they say.
We have other callers besides him.
Say.
Who's
Good
in?
evening, everyone.
Hello.
Well, he's not a caller. He's a
on the
guest.
line.
He's a guest. He's my guest. Teacher Tanisha, what's good? I see my man. I see my man Roma on the line too.
Good evening, Lady Self-Made.
Hi.
Good evening, guests and callers. Peace, everyone. How y'all?
Teacher Tanisha, what's going on? We got the Angry Man on the line from the Angry Man channel.
The Angry Man Show. How are you, brother? Good evening.
I'm doing all right. One of your sisters is in here ready to beat me up, man.
Okay.
I think I may have touched the nerve. I have a tendency to generalize, but like I said in one of my videos, the reason why I never say, well, some women do this and some women do that, is because the ones that I'm really trying to make my point to, the ratchet ones, they'll look at that and they'll say, oh, he's not talking about me. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
Okay, so where's the steam coming from? What happened that you're clashing? You said it was some static. So what's going on? You gotta put me on so I know
I'm
what's
up
going
here.
on. What was the static
I'm talking.
about?
I'm sitting across.
Topic of a show like.
I'm sitting across from one male chauvinist to the next one on the phone. I mean, that's the problem. That's the real problem. I mean, because they pretty much saying that.
So I missed a whole lot.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be talking about dark and black and light skin and dark skin and all this bull crap. I mean, as far as people favoritism over either or is bull crap to me. But what happened? How did it become male chauvinistic? What are you guys doing?
But check this out though. There's no such thing as a black male chauvinist. That's impossible.
Yeah, we have another caller.
Okay, well,
917.
We have to define male chauvinist. But Lady Self-Made, what happened?
We have another caller.
No, I said that. I said that black women, they are more color struck than black men. That's basically what I said. I said that black women are more prejudiced amongst us as people. Far as on face value, not far as preference with men or whatever the case may be. That's a different story. But I'm talking about as men, we don't divide ourselves based on color as much as women do, and we don't. As men, we don't.
Caller,
and any man will agree with that.
Caller, are you there? 917.
Yeah,
you there?
here.
Yeah. What do you have to say about the topic?
Good evening. Yes, you're on the line.
Yes, we can hear you well.
Hello, everybody.
Peace, brother.
I'm sitting here listening to this show. I want to elaborate a little bit. First of all, to both of the guys who are on the line, I'm quite sure both of you guys grew up in the 80s. And men did divide themselves by color because we had brown-skinned brothers talking about light-skinned brothers.
Yeah.
That happened all through history, along with women, okay? So that's one. Two, I listen to you guys, and I'm a man, so as we get older, it's all about uplifting each other. So we're not going to sit here and say, well, a woman can't do this, a man can't do that, because that's what makes the balance in life, a woman and man. We need each other. So there's things that women can't do. There's things that women can't do, that women can do that we can't do, and vice versa. So as far as digging ditches and all that, I work a labor job. I have women that work with me just as well, who sweat, do the same thing I do. So I just can't understand how we can sit here and keep picking each other apart, 'cause that's pretty much what we're doing.
Oh.
Well, I don't necessarily see it that way. I don't see it that way.
Let me say something about that. Let me say something about that. It's just like this. It's just like what you were saying. That yeah, we did do that back in the '80s, but that's why I said we grew out of that.
Exactly.
But not go out of it. We still do it to this day. We still do it to this day. You still talking about, man, light skin brothers ain't in now. Brown skin brothers is in now. Y'all had your time. Jokingly.
But that's still saying it. That's still saying
How
it.
about y'all all? How about all the beautiful melanated, beautiful complexions is in? How about we do that?
Hold on.
That's the whole point exactly. So I'm just saying, man,
we do that. We do that jokingly. We don't do it to the extent.
See,
we
he's
don't do
talking
it to the
now.
extent where we're
Now he's cutting
discriminating
things off.
against each other. We don't be like, oh, I'm not gonna hang out with them brothers because they dark skinned. We don't do that.
So you're saying that women do that?
Women do that. Yes, they do.
With women.
You saying that women say they're not hanging out with other women because they're light skinned?
You never heard that before?
Oh,
You never heard that?
Get out of here. Come on, man.
You trying to tell me you never heard women divide themselves by color?
My question to you is, what makes you an expert on that? You hang out. I mean, you hang out with women and they tell you this.
All right now.
No, man. But let me tell you something.
What makes me hold on?
Life experience. Life experience.
Number one, hold on. Number one. I never said I was an expert on that. What I'm speaking from is my experiences. That's the only thing I can speak from, brother.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So your experience that every woman is that like that.
I have seen.
When's the last experience you had with this?
When was the last experience?
I personally think brothers do it to women more than women do it to each other. Because
I was getting ready to say that.
The light skinned woman is always praised. Is that not true?
No, that's not true. That's not true. So let me ask you a question.
It's not true. It's not true.
Hold on.
So
That's the perception that everybody has.
Wait a minute.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
The light skinned woman is praised more.
Let me ask you this.
Wait a minute. Can I please say something?
Let me
Can I
ask
say
you this,
something?
brother.
Hold on, everybody.
Let me ask you this.
Hold on.
No, you're gonna wait.
Hold on. Let me moderate. Hold on.
The caller posed the question.
Hold on.
Okay, wait a
It was
minute.
being answered.
Yeah, but my woman's in the studio. She want to say something. Hold on.
I have something.
Yeah,
Please, I have something to say.
Wait,
Please.
Everybody just take a breath.
the female is back.
Take a breath.
Yo, let me answer that real quick.
No.
Wait,
You're gonna
wait.
wait.
Go ahead. Say what you gonna say.
Listen.
Hello?
Please. Yes, hi.
Wait, y'all can keep going, man. I just got one more thing to say because I want to start.
No, you don't.
Wait.
I turned the phone line down.
Okay. Listen. Okay, my name is Candy. I'm Xavier's wife. Okay, let me tell you something real
Sister
quick.
Candy. Good evening.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Okay, I have something real short to say. When I met my husband, I was very prejudiced against him. Okay, because first of all, he was a dark-skinned man, and I was always brought up that if you're darker than a paper bag, you was evil. Okay, and the reason why listen to me, because my family is half white and half black, and the white side of the family always treated us as the darker people like garbage. So therefore, that's how I grew up. And let me tell you something, I would have missed out on a good thing if I would have continued on thinking that way. Okay, I would have missed out on a really, really good thing, and now I no longer think that way. I'm sorry, I'm hearing an echo, so that's why I'm like slowing down. I'm gonna take the headphones off.
Yes, so we can hear you.
Like I said, I would have missed out on a very good thing if I would have continued on thinking that way. And when I met my husband, I must have been like 35, Xavier. So I had been thinking that way for a very long time. And I'm telling you, society is still the same. Light-skinned women do think that they're better than us as dark. They just do, okay? And dark-skinned women, they feel some type of way because they know that they grew up thinking that lighter women are better than us. But let me tell you something. It's not true. It's not true at all. So what we need to do is look at the man in the mirror, and that's real talk. None of us are no better than the next one. We're not, because if we all get lynched, we all getting lynched together. Okay, they're not going to separate us and say, oh, well, we're not going to lynch these women over here or these men over here because they're light. We're going to kill them all. Okay, and that's what I wanted to just bring across real quick. Thank y'all. Have a good night.
Thank you for bringing some sense into the show. That made a lot of sense. Now, y'all was trying to jump on my girl, Lady Self-Made, while I was off. And I need her to kind of clarify some things so I can kind of put my input. But before we go there, I just want to say, like the sister Candy that just called in, like she said, it don't matter. Nobody's better than the other person. It's about your content and your character. That's what it all boils down to. Out of all things for so-called black people to be arguing about or debating about in society, I think the last thing that's our problem is who's light, who's dark, who's preferred, who's not. What we need to be focusing on is unity and strength between the man and woman, not mattering the color. But as far as you being black and building, that's what it's about, building. Black men and black women, of course we have issues with each other. We've been having issues with each other just like every other race of men and women have issues. It's just that ours are more focused on because we're looked down upon in this country and across the
well,
okay?
Actually, the show wasn't about the woman and man dynamic. That's not what the show was about.
I wasn't finished. I wasn't even on the phone for an hour. I just want to say something. I just called in not too long ago. So being that everybody has their preference, now me personally, I cater more to darker brothers. And some people go, well, when you light skin, you like darker people. And when you dark skin, you like lighter people. Everybody done heard all the myths and bullshit in the family. I know my family got every shade from light to dark to in between, and or could come from the same mama and papa, and it'll be 3 children, all 3 different complexions, and that's speaking for facts. Because me and my brother, one of my brothers, and my sister have the same father, are 3 different complexions. Okay, me being a lighter, him being the next darkest, and her being the darker. Okay, and we're all very, as far as skin color and complexion go, very beautiful people. I think that's just some stigmatic bullshit to focus on when we have so much other more important things to do. If you like and cater to somebody based on their complexion, I don't give a fuck. Are they black? Can y'all build? Y'all about something? You need some help? Shit, if I can't help, let me find somebody that can help y'all. That's what it's about. So with a light skin, dark skin, in between, can we just build families? Can we just do that?
Well,
there's been enough hurt, especially with women. Now, for the brothers, I can't speak for y'all because I don't know personally the hurt that you have experienced due to who's lighter, who's darker, and this whole complexion sad BS within the black community. But I know personally, being light-skinned, and sisters who are dark-skinned, you brothers have personally put us through bullshit because she ain't light enough, she ain't dark enough. Which I have experienced myself as well, being a light-skinned woman.
We as men, we don't feel hurt from it. I don't think we feel hurt from it.
Y'all might not, but my point is we do.
We don't feel hurt from it.
Especially emotionally, it does. Or if her ass ain't big enough, or if her titties ain't big enough.
That's right.
This is not
that's a different topic though. That's a different topic though.
I don't think the complexion matters. Is that something that we're going to base a relationship on? If a grown-ass person is basing a relationship off of whether the person they're dealing with is dark skin or light skin, your relationship is not built on anything. There is no foundation there. There is nothing there. It's empty.
Well, you're making my point for me. You're making my point for me. That is the point. That's the point. That is the very point, that the color of our skin should not matter. It shouldn't matter. That's the point that I'm making.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait. This is Brother Marcus, president of New Bill Radio. I just want to say real quick, I'm so grateful for Brother Xavier doing this show because y'all opening my eyes up to something serious. I had no idea
Well, you know that's what we do here.
I'm saying I had no idea about this. Look, I'm 35 years old. I'm from Baltimore, right? And growing up, I've never even known of a sense of complexion prejudice between men. Period. I'm light skinned, but I never even knew that. You know, there was really as much knowledge and history as I've done. I've never had to deal with that. I never had to console anybody dealing with it. You know, I know women. You know, I know that they're a little bit more sensitive, you know, to it because of the way media portrays women, and they always got light skinned women in every role and every, you know, music video or whatever. But I don't know. To me, I always felt like an alien when it came to this topic. I just never had to deal with any of this, and I just want to say thank you, X, for, you know, putting this show on, man, and y'all can go on. Go ahead and continue.
Well, this is what X does here, man. This is what X does.
I only got about 5 more minutes.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Like I said, man, from the beginning of everything, when I first stated was the light-skinned, dark-skinned, male, women, there's a balance in everything in life. And everything has to have a balance. Without the balance, everything gets out of whack. So, men and women, we need each other. We need to build on each other. We need to come back each other. That's number one. Number two, I listen to a lot of brothers. I read a lot of stuff. I listen to a lot of brothers talk. And one thing a lot of brothers do when they get a little bit of knowledge, they try to beat up people down with knowledge. They try to judge people by what they know, and if this person don't know this, then they're not on their level. That's number two. Number three,
forgetting that at one point they didn't know either.
Right. Instead of educating the next brother. Number three, one thing black people is doing, we good at talking. Just like anybody sitting around talking right now. This is time to start mobilizing. We can't sit here and keep having these shows and these conferences, but we're not mobilizing. Because it's not reaching everyone. It's reaching a few people. But it's time to get your feet to the pavement, go out there, grab our young brothers, grab our young sisters, and start teaching them and educating them.
Making them active.
Well, we talk on here because this is a talk show. That's what this show is for. The show is for talking.
But a talk show is like beating a dead horse sometimes. Okay, so you know, there's other subjects in life that can be going on that people can be talking about.
Man, I talk about everything here. I talk about everything. This is one of many things that I talk about.
There's a lot of cosmic going on, and I don't hear that a lot. I don't hear that a lot. I hear, we can.
Okay, go ahead.
This is a talk show, man. We talk about this stuff.
That our shows are based on black issues within the community.
That's right. That's right.
Shows, many shows.
I talk about all kinds of shit. This ain't no one-trick pony here, brother. I talk about so much shit. I've interviewed people that other people haven't interviewed. I mean, I talk about a plethora of shit. This is one of maybe 100 damn subjects I've talked about. I talk about everything. Right. I talk about criminal justice. I talk about poverty. Right. I talk about racism. Right. I talk about finance. Right. I talk about money. Right. I talk about birth. Mm-hmm. I talk about marriage. Right. I talk about all kinds of shit up here. This is just one of many things that I'm talking about. It's a show topic, and I knew it was going to get heated because, you know, black people don't like to hear things that they don't like to hear, and that's why I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it.
I hear all the stuff you're talking about, but I've yet to even talk about how any positive things in the community, any of the things that's going on in the neighborhoods, any of the health centers. I have yet to even talk about any of the rec centers. I've yet to hear you talk about where kids can go to keep their mind open. I've yet to hear you talk about any of these things yet. So don't say that it's not a one.
That's not true. That's not true, Roma. Let me tell you something. See, now you don't said the wrong thing. Let me tell you something, brother. I've had many shows where I had people on here who can tell you how to get a job. I've had people on here who ran organizations. I've had people. Don't say that shit, Roma. You know me better than that. You know me better than that. That's wrong, brother. That's wrong. I tell you what. You did. You come to this station. But you say that. No, you just said that I don't talk about anything positive. That's bullshit, Roma. You know how many different kind of people I've had on this show? You know how many people I came on here who could tell you how to get a job? You know how many people I've had on this show who run organizations? You know how many people I've had on here who talk about black finance, black investing? Come on, man, don't say that because that's wrong. That's wrong.
Just a male chauvinist.
I'm saying that
This is teacher to the brothers.
I'm saying that I don't.
You're basing it off of one show. I don't know if you have.
I'm not basing it off
chance
one
to
show. Okay,
well,
put it this way. I'm not basing it off
no,
one show.
No. I meant this specific show.
I'm basing it off shows that I've heard. I'm not basing it off one
can I
everybody, hold on. Everybody just hold on for a minute. We got to go to a commercial break. We'll be back in a few minutes. So everybody get a chance to chime in. You listen to the Popular Thought series on Nubia Hood Radio, the sound of consciousness. We got to go to a little commercial break. The phone number is 712-775-7031. Access code 840981 if you wish to opine. We'll be back in a few, y'all. How much time?
4 minutes. I want you to go outside trying to regulate it.
Regulate what?
The madness of women fighting.
They fighting out there? My wife out there?
No, she ain't fighting. She's trying to calm people down.
What? He's an asshole. I don't want to
Say, man, this junior high school show is a gas. They got white folks and colored folks in the same class, and over there I saw a white girl and a colored boy holding hands. Why you wait so long? Niggas in California sure is acting strange. But I ain't gonna say nothing I don't think I ever will. That nigga is looking for trouble. Better go and get himself killed.
Sure will.
Sure will. South Central Los Angeles is a holocaust of flame and smoke as proud black warriors all come forth to reclaim our destiny and restore our hope. This makes everyone aware that the rubble of riots still smoking in spots like Newark and Harlem, Chicago and Watts. And though it might seem that the riots are over, and now black brothers are getting bolder and making threats like taking over, but hold it, brother. Before you go on and do that, can you tell me something, brother?
What you want to know?
What color is black?
Black.
Black. Blacker than black.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick.
What I mean is, can I be brown, tan, or yellow? Because, brother, you see, I didn't make my color. Yeah, all right, I understand. We all used to be Negroes. Today you're a black man. And there's some black folks who say, why not just go on and move away and pass? Because niggas always don't like to dance.
You
And that's
still
why I'm going to
on?
my
You still
attitude
on?
now. Say, brother, I'm black. Black, and I'm proud. Wait, here comes a brother I know for sure can rap. Say, can you tell me, brother, what color is black? Are you serious? Of course I'm serious. Man, you talking crap. No, I ain't talking no crap. But then if you don't know, I gotta go. And if you just have to go, it's all right, brother, I understand. Yesterday a Negro, today a black man. 10 years ago, Negroes didn't know black was a race. They thought black was a bandit, voodoo, a curse, or a cat. That brought bad luck when you crossed your path. They thought black was a pirate with a pack. They thought black was a nigga that didn't care. They thought black was a slick-talking pimp with greasy punk hair. But now black is a way of life. A knife that cuts on both sides, a cup that overflows with the fruits of life. A pride within that outward flows, the torch of light that lights our path, but yet still not stating that one fact. Brother, hey brother, what color is black?
And welcome back to the Prophet of Thought series right here on Nubia Hood Radio. Sound of Consciousness. Got a little heated before. But that's okay. It's all good. We don't mind the heat here at the Prophet of Thought series. In fact, we welcome it. We welcome the heat. And I got my guest on the line, Brother Valdez from the ANGRYMAN channel. If you want to call in and opine, you got a question for me, or Lady Self-Made, or Brother Valdez, the phone number 712-775-7031. That's 712-775-7031. Access code 840981. Brother Valdez.
Yo, man, I just want to know one thing. How the brother gonna come on the radio show mad because we talking about the topic for the radio show.
I don't think he was mad. I don't think he was mad at all.
Yeah, he was.
I think he just put his point across.
And
You're
he
mad.
And he was on some.
You're
and he
mad.
was on some white knight. Oh yeah, I'm always mad.
All right,
But
well then.
he was on some simping white knight type stuff.
White knight.
Yeah, man. He heard me talking. He heard me making statements about women, and he had to jump on there and put me in my place, basically.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's fine, but what bothered, because see, the brother that was on the line, I know the brother, he's my man. What got me is when he said he never hear me talking nothing positive, and that's BS. On this show, that's nonsense. That's not true.
That's
not
the
true.
thing, like black people don't want to hear, they never want to hear, black people like stuff sugar-coated for them. They don't never want to hear stuff they don't want to hear, you know?
Yeah, like you. Because you just got mad because
Like
he said
what?
something.
What is it I don't want to
He
hear?
didn't sugarcoat anything. He said what he had to say.
Yeah, and the only reason you agree with it is because it was along with your point of view.
Okay.
Here's another thing black people don't know how to do. Black people don't know how to disagree. Yeah, I can disagree with what you're saying in your opinion without having any animosity towards you.
So you think that he had animosity towards you and he don't even know you? You really think that for real? Something wrong with you?
That brother was going at everybody.
No, he wasn't.
He was going
What
at
show was you
everybody,
listening
even with
to?
even when it brother Xavier talking about ain't nothing positive on the show. Just this conversation by
With
itself
brother
is positive,
Xavier,
because
yeah,
we're
but
not
with you,
talking about-
no. With brother Xavier,
Beg your
yeah,
pardon?
they went through their little spat or whatever with brother Xavier, but with you, it wasn't even directed towards you. Like nobody even acknowledged you and said your name.
Well, I never got a chance. He did address me at the beginning, and I never got a chance to even answer what he was saying because everybody started talking over top of each other, and I just stopped talking.
Well, go ahead, address it now, brother. Go ahead and address it. Done calm down. The tide has subsided up in here, so go ahead.
Well, the thing about it, when he came on, he basically was talking about the fact that he asked me if I was an expert on women doing that.
He asked
And
both
it's
of y'all.
Okay, so apparently he must be the expert on women not doing that. Like it didn't even make any sense.
Well, everybody can still call in with their opinion. If everybody ain't going to agree, well, who expects everybody to agree with everybody? Nobody.
Well, no, I don't expect everybody to agree with each other, but
I'm not saying you personally. I'm talking about people in general. We can't expect anybody to have. We have to be respectful of everybody's opinions, even if we don't agree. So even though the brother might not have agree with you or brother X or whoever said whatever, that was his personal thing. Just like it's your personal option and choice not to agree with him. You know. So,
I understand that, but here's the thing. Anytime you start having discussions and debating about certain things, there's some people that I consider contrary. My grandmother called it contrary. It's basically whenever you say something, they're gonna say the opposite, and that's what I felt like was going on. Now, that may not be the case, but that's what I felt.
Yeah,
well, could have been, you know.
I don't mind people
it's just
disagreeing with me. I don't care about that. I mean, I don't expect everybody to agree with me.
My whole thing was that the brother, I mean, of course he has a right to his opinion. I wasn't even disagreeing with him, but I did disagree with the fact that he thought based off of this one show that we're a negative broadcasting station or show rather, and it's not that. You understand? It's always about uplifting the people. Every week we're telling black people to call in, especially if they have their own businesses, if they're doing something out in the community to let others know to come out. You understand? People talking to different people who think.
True, but did you notice? But did you notice this though? Did you notice brother Xavier's wife came on and said, "Oh, there was a time where I was taught to be prejudiced towards women," and then another brother came on and said he never heard nothing about brothers being prejudiced towards each other. Two people came on and verified what I was saying.
Well, we're not saying that it's not.
See, this is the thing. It's all about right and wrong. He wants to be right, so just let him be right. That's just his point. That's his whole point. That's what it looks like. The right and wrong.
Well,
two. We got two up. That sounds like some childish shit. We got two going. How many you got over there?
My wife was prejudiced against me when we first met.
Well, hold on.
She was prejudiced against me like a mom.
Who was the sister that just said? Who was the sister that just said I want to be right?
The same one that's been telling you what I've been telling you. It's self-made.
Okay. Well, here's the thing about that.
You
got two up.
On a debate team?
Where your where your sticks at?
If you ever been on a debate, can we not be challenged, please?
That's how you are, because you like we had two people already. That's how you are.
Right now, I'm trying to speak, and you're talking over top of me.
Man, just go ahead. The show almost over anyway. Cause I don't. Just go ahead. Just go ahead. Just go ahead. Just go ahead, bro. Just go ahead. You still just go ahead.
As long as you're talking.
Go ahead.
Like I was saying, in a debate, the whole entire thing is to raise your point. And if you have something that verifies your point, it solidifies your stand. The point is trying to get people to hear what it is I'm trying to say and see my point of view instead of keeping the same thought process. Yeah. That's the entire point.
I need another one.
It ain't about being right or wrong.
Ignorant ass people.
And as far as you over there, the only reason you acting like that is because I said something that you don't agree with. So you seem to want me to be wrong.
Well, that's the thing with us as black people. Like you said, we don't like to disagree, a lot of us. Me, I don't give a damn. I disagree with people. But one thing I won't do is I won't stand for someone telling me something about my show that I know isn't true. Now, that's one thing. It's one thing for us to disagree. I don't care if brothers disagree with my point that I'm making or sisters disagree with the point that I'm making. That's fine. But if you say something about my show that I know is not true, that I have an issue with, because, I mean, it's not true. Okay, that's just not true. But far as people having different points of view, that's fine. That's what this is all about. People having different point of view. We're not all supposed to agree on anything, because that would make us monolithic. Okay, if all black people agreed, we'd be this one monolithic group. Okay, that dance to the beat of the same drum, wear the same clothes, look the same, shop at the same stores, and go to see the same movies. Okay. So we're never going to be people who agree totally on everything. That's what a debate is. When I came up with this topic for this show, that's what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be a debate. I knew it was going to be heated. Remember when I had wrote you earlier, I said it's going to be a heated conversation, Brother Valdez. And I didn't even tell anybody that you was coming. You was a surprise guest, because I didn't say you was coming. And I knew that you had strong opinions on this as well. So I knew it was going to be a heated debate. I knew it was going to be a heated conversation, because these type of things are heated, okay? But the bottom line, to the point that I wanted to make amongst all of us, is that us judging each other by color is stupid. That's the point of the whole thing. We are all black. We all black. No matter if one's yellow as a banana or dark as a damn spade, we are all black people. And this is one thing amongst us that shouldn't exist, and we should do every damn thing we can to make it not exist. That is the point that I make on all my shows. When I do my show topics, I'm talking about the things that shouldn't freaking exist in the black world. Okay? Now, far as my boy saying earlier that we need to be talking about uplifting black people and building, yeah, we can talk about that another night. Tonight, we was talking about light and dark, the prejudices amongst us. And they do exist, okay? They do. They come from both sides. They come from male, they come from female, they come from dark people, they come from light people. Those prejudices do exist, and I wanted that to be debated tonight. And it happened. So it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. We can talk about the male-female dynamic some other time. We can talk about that some other time. But tonight, we was talking about that. So there you have it. There you have it. But I'm glad you came on, though, man. You know?
Oh, Oh, no problem, man.
'Cause
No
I
problem.
knew you was gonna come in with some shit that was gonna make people angry.
Oh yeah.
'Cause that's kind of
yeah.
what you do, you know.
Oh yeah. It is what it is. Like I got mad love for my sisters as well as my brothers, whether they light, dark, pink, purple, gold, whatever. It don't make me no difference, man. My entire thing is us getting out of a place of stigmatism where we constantly continue the same stereotypes, man.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
We got to stop looking at ourselves, man, the way white America looks at us, man. That's what's keeping us back. That's what's holding us back.
Like, how can you say
That's
that?
what's holding us back. I'm telling you. Because as black people, man, we never going to get ahead if we divide each other. If we divide it, and we got to understand how things work too. I mean, you know, us as black people, we have become a matriarchal society, and that's why our society suffers the way it does, because it's matriarchal. Okay, we are the only society. We are the only group of people that have a matriarchal society. Black people are the only people that's like that. No one else does. Okay? So we need to get back to a different place, and we need to get back to a patriarchal society. Because, see, if we get back to a patriarchal society, there will be balance. That's what's wrong with the black community. There is no damn balance. There's no balance. You call the killings and the murders and the drugs and the incarceration balance? It's not balance. Now everybody wants to...
See,
Go ahead.
well, the thing about it is, with the matriarchal part of it, we're never going to get out of having a matriarchal society until we start getting to the point where we're used to actual strong black men. Like we're already used to strong black sisters because we live in a matriarchal society. You know what I'm saying? So when we having, it shows when we having discussions like this. You know what I'm saying? Like we could be having a discussion or whatever, and you know everybody knows that everybody comes to my channel knows I have a super strong opinion. You know, and I try to be a dominant force, but that's the way a man is supposed to be. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be unapologetic about the things that you know to be right. You know what I'm saying? Or that you know to be important. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is until we get to a place to where we can actually step back. You know, and I don't mean no harm, sisters, and I'm not talking about y'all, but a lot of black women don't know how to look at a man that's in that type of mind frame and say, oh, snap, this dude is really on some leader type shit. Let me step back. It's almost like, and I've had discussions with other sisters, and they say that they don't trust a lot of men to step into that role because they feel like they're going to let them down. Mm-hmm. But until we get to a place,
No, I said that's interesting. Go ahead.
So until we get into a place where we actually can start viewing black men as leaders again, because right now at the present moment, the other day was Biggie's death. I heard him on the radio saying "Happy Biggie Day," and all due respect to the brother, may he rest in peace or whatever. But you know, as influential as he was on music, he wasn't a leader as far as our social, economic, and political condition. And they're talking about him like we've gotten to the point where our entertainers have become our leaders. You know, and that's crazy, especially with a lot of them doing the stuff they're doing now. So until we get to a place where we actually start viewing the correct black men as leaders, we ain't gonna get nowhere. It's gonna remain a matriarchal society.
Exactly. Well, whenever a black man projects strength, it's always seen as he's being belligerent, he's being, whatever. It's not he's being a man. It's always, because, see, we have an idea about manhood because we live, that's what lets you know that we are in a matriarchal society, because the idea of manhood is thwarted. And see, a lot of brothers don't realize that. They don't realize that the subject of manhood and masculinity has been thwarted, and it has been thwarted mostly by women. It hasn't been thwarted by men. Men have been injected into it and groomed into it, but they are not the ones who started it. The emasculation of men comes from women. Women are the ones who emasculate men, and women are the ones who.
White supremacy.
Huh?
Go ahead, listening. No, I said, go ahead. I'm listening.
Women. I was getting to that. Women emasculate men because of white supremacy. Because especially when you talk about black women, okay? Because black women have a lot of power in the United States, okay? Black women have been held up. Black women have been helped. Black women can get whatever they want to get. They can go to school. They can do this. They can do all that shit. A man cannot get any of that, okay, from the United States government. And it's all a trick. It's all a trick. And it's taught black women to look at black men the same way white people do. Okay? And I can't. Go ahead.
Well, see, what it is it's another stigma. It's another ideology. They make what they've done. What white supremacy has done is taken black women's nurturing nature and used it against black women. Basically, what they did is they show so many examples of black men being destroyed by white supremacy that no mother is going to want to raise their son to be strong because of fear of what's going to happen to him for being strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Lady Self-Made, where you at with that Willie Lynch, girl?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So what has happened, a lot of black men coming up in the world, they are feminized, especially the ones that's being raised by women by themselves. I mean, a kid growing up, man, a young male child, man, being raised by a woman all by himself with no men in his life, there's a pretty good chance he's going to grow up to be an effeminate brother. That's just the facts. Okay, this is the person he looks up to. This is the person that nurtures him. This is the person he takes after. This is the person that he mocks. He becomes a prototype. It's like a piece of paper in a copy machine. Okay, so I mean,
and you know what it is, brother X?
Why? I know why it is. Because we lost our culture. We don't have a community raising their child no more. Of course. You know what I mean? Of course not. That's why I said the reason why when I spoke earlier about all these cities, these inner cities where there's crime and killing and drugs and crack and murder and death, all of those cities have one damn thing in common. A bunch of women raising kids by themselves. And I don't care what city it is, whether it's New York, Chicago, Detroit, L.A., walk into one of those neighborhoods where 200 people get shot a month and just go around and do a survey and watch how many single women that are raising kids are in that neighborhood. Because number one, when you got a neighborhood full of real men, they ain't going to let the Negroes take the neighborhood over. They're not going to let them take it over. They're not going to let them sell crack. They're not going to let them run up and down the streets stealing cars, robbing bodegas, and knocking old ladies in the head. They're not. Okay? They're not. They're just not. So whatever these people are learning, whatever grooming they're getting, whatever results we're seeing, it's not coming from men. It's not. Because men aren't around. Okay? And women will say, well, you know, we raising these kids. But they don't want to cop to how these kids are turning out. So you can't have it both ways. Okay? If you saying ain't no men around and this damn neighborhood is violent and deadly, guess what? You played a part in that. You played a part in it.
So where are the men at?
The men aren't there.
Well, where are they? I mean, they have children.
They're not there.
No, but wait a minute. But they have children. They have children, okay? But they're not being a father to their children. You can't blame it all on the woman.
I don't blame it all on. I don't blame it on all the women. I'm not blaming it on women. What I said that if you go into those neighborhoods where people are dying and getting killed and drugs and crack, what is one common theme in those neighborhoods? A bunch of single women raising kids. That's a fact.
So then something has to be done about it. Am I correct?
That's a fact.
So then let's stop talking about it and do something about it.
Well, everybody keep talking about let's stop talking.
Exactly.
This is a talk show. This is a talk show.
I'm talking about general.
I mean, what should we be doing up here? Should we be making uniforms for the Black Panthers? I mean, it's a talk show. What the hell else we supposed to be doing up here?
I don't find anything funny. I don't find anything
It is
funny.
a talk show.
I want my Black Panther uniform with my red, black, and green. My red, green, red,
you know?
I think it's hilarious.
No,
because
I think
what
it's
he's saying is
pathetic.
truth.
I
What
think
he's
it's
saying
pathetic.
is truth. What he's saying is truth. You have to, before you can do anything, you have to know what, before you can fix a problem, you got to know what the problem is.
Exactly.
A lot of these conversations haven't even been had. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of these discussions how many Nubia Hood radios do you think there are out here?
I don't know.
I guarantee you there ain't a lot. It's probably 10. It's probably a handful. You know what I'm saying? But like, the only way you can start anything is you gotta start with a discussion, an honest discussion. You know what I'm saying? And every time somebody says, "Yo, let's stop talking about it and do something," that's like trying to shut the discussion down.
No, brother, listen to me. I'm not trying to shut it down, not at all. What I'm saying is that something has to be. I'm sorry, we having technical difficulties.
What's that noise?
Said what, sister?
I'm sorry. I said we was having difficulties over here. No, I was saying that, we are all broken as a people, brother. We are. And we all we have to take responsibilities for our actions, because guess what? These children are our children too. And it's all about responsibility. We want to separate it. Oh, it's the woman's fault. Oh, it's the man's fault. Let me tell you something. When I was growing up, brother, back in Brooklyn, back in the 70s and the 80s, I was born in the 60s. And I always remember there being a man in the home. And as long as there was a man in the home, those kids were tightened up. Nobody was acting up. Everybody walked around with respect, not just for themselves, but for one another as well. Once the man left the home, when the men started leaving the home back in the 70s, okay, that's when our families... Let me finish, brother. Let me finish, brother. No, listen to me.
Didn't leave the home.
Yes, they did. Okay, but no. Brother, can I please finish? Can I tell you? Listen, brother, can I please finish? Okay.
Yo, how many times have y'all interrupted me?
No, but wait a minute. This is a different person.
Exactly.
This is a different person. No. Oh my God, this is a different person speaking.
This is that matriarchal stuff, right? This is just what we was just talking about.
But brother, I just now got here.
Completely off.
Oh my God, brother. No,
he called. What
no. Listen,
See,
brother. Please, this is a different. No, but wait a minute. I wasn't finished.
That's not Sister Lady Self-Made.
But I wasn't finished.
Interrupt you.
I wasn't finished.
No, I didn't say she did. I said I was interrupted. I didn't say she did.
No, but I just got on here. I just got here. Can I finish?
Even if it was me, though, you still supposed to
Okay.
He wanted to talk.
Listen, like I said, okay, I was born in the 60s, okay? When the late 70s came, the middle 70s, from the late 70s, I've seen black men leave their homes, okay? The wife, the children, okay? And I've seen families go down. And it's only been going down ever since then. It was because of the black man leaving the home. He left his responsibility to that white cracker. Okay, the women no, because I'm not done. Because guess what? That left our black women, our black mothers, okay? No, listen, that left our black women, they had to go down to the Department of Social Service and get help for themselves and their children. Okay, so it is, the man plays a big part in it as well. And even when I talk about this to my husband, he don't really want to hear it, but it's the truth. Okay, it's the truth.
It's not the
we
truth.
would
You
not
just
be
made a
broken.
statement
No,
that
but
is
we
not
would
true.
not be broken
You
if
just
our
made a
men
statement
did
that's
not.
not true.
No, if our men.
You just made a statement that's not
Oh my
true.
God! How old are you, brother? How old are you?
You're telling me. So you're telling me.
But how old are you?
Candy,
But how old are
You're telling
you?
me.
Angry man.
But listen,
So
how
you're
old are
telling
you?
me.
Brother, earlier you said that you were saying something based off of your experiences. She's
And this
saying
is
something
my
based off of what you
thank
saw
you.
growing up. So
That's
you cannot
right.
tell me
And I
that she's
heard, and I heard her, and I heard her.
Oh my
and I
God.
heard her.
But
I
you
heard
know
what
what?
she said.
But wait a minute.
I heard what she
Angry
said, but can I
with
get an
feelings.
opportunity to answer?
Yes,
what she
but
said?
you're not
Y'all cut me
finishing
off
my
before,
story.
and I didn't even get to.
But I didn't even finish my
She
story,
repeated
though.
herself.
Oh my
She
God!
repeated herself. I heard what she said.
You know what?
Let me address it.
I don't-
Let me address it. Yo, this is matriarchy 101 right now.
You know
There's a
what?
bunch of women on the phone, and y'all don't want to let nobody else talk.
That's not true. Why are you so angry?
The statement that you just made is an incorrect statement.
No,
so
it's
what you're
not.
telling me is in the 70s.
That's
so
my
what you're telling
personal
me,
opinion.
So what you're telling me, hold on, let me speak. So what you're telling me is in the 70s.
Right, wrong.
all
What I
men-
was
all
saying
men
was
just
when I was
think
growing up, this is
Oh
how
my God!
things
You see my
were.
point? You see my
He's a right
point?
wrong person. Like, he
You
gotta
see
be
my
right.
point?
You picking,
Yeah, he
angry
got-
man.
he
This
has
is
You see
to be
my
right.
point?
I know.
You picking.
You see my point?
You picking.
That's my point right there. That's my point right there. It's verified.
Oh,
It's
no,
verified.
okay.
This is why we cannot get out of a matriarchal society, because once a black woman starts speaking, everybody's supposed to shut the hell up until she decides to finish.
Oh my God, sir! No, that is not true.
And what you
asked you.
just said,
No,
and
I
what you
asked
just
you.
said was an incorrect statement.
No,
so
but
what
it's
you're telling me
not.
is all black men synced up like Wi-Fi in the 70s and just walked out of their house.
No,
That's
what
what
I
happened.
said, brother, listen to what I said. I said
Come
I
on,
was
man.
born. No, listen to me, please. Just have a little bit of respect, okay? Because I did be quiet. I was quiet while you tried to get your point across. What I said was,
you wasn't.
no, sir,
No, you
listen to
wasn't.
me. Can I please talk?
I had to damn near yell just to get my point across.
No, but
Yeah,
see,
mute him.
no, listen to me, brother, please. I said I was born in the 60s. When I was growing up, the men were in the home, and I saw, my own experience. When I started seeing black men leave the home back in the middle 70s and the late 70s, I seen a wave of bullshit coming to the homes of those children. Okay, they were all fucked up. The women had to go down there and get on social service. Okay, they had to go and ask that cracker to help.
Does anybody else realize she's repeating the same statement?
Because
You're repeating
you're
the
not
same
under.
statement.
Yes, and that is
You're
my statement.
repeating
I'm
the
telling you
same
my
statement.
experience, though.
You're repeating the same statement.
Oh my God.
He's ignorant.
I heard
Don't-
you when you
let
said
him
it the
let
first
him go.
time.
Let me
Because
just
he had too much
let me
time
let me
anyway.
just
I don't
let me
even know why he's
let me
still
just
arguing.
let me
You said it
let
the
me
first
just
time.
interrupt to get let me interrupt so I can give out the phone number. The phone number is 712-775-7031. Access code 840981. We started out talking about light versus dark, but it's went to something else, and that's fine. It's my show. We can do whatever. Call in, opine. I got the angry man on the line in the whole nine. What's good? Let's go.
I understand what she said, the statement she made. I heard it loud and clear. But the point that I'm trying to make is between the 60s and 70s, there was a systematic thing that was done to black men. The 60s, we had a lot going on for black people. And there was a lot put in place to dismantle that. So it's not like a bunch of black men just decided, you know what, I'm going to be a sorry-ass dude and just leave the house. That's not what happened. There may be cases of that, but that wasn't
Marcus,
blanketed.
I did not say that. I was just talking about
Brother,
my
she
own.
did not say that. She wasn't going there. She didn't
I
say
told
that
you
she
it's
was up
right
and
or
left.
wrong.
She was
He
trying to
wants to be
finish her
right.
point, and she was going to get to that. She said, go work for that cracker. What'd you say? Go work for...
I think that
Oh God.
the
You can't talk to this brother
the
because
way that
his anger is clouding
society,
his judgment.
well, he is the
okay?
angry man. That's
My
who he
anger
is.
is not clouding my
I
judgment.
don't
I'm
care
just
about
not
that.
a. I'm just
But
not
he
a
has to
simp.
give a
I'm not
person
a
a
dude.
chance to
I'm not a
speak.
dude that's
I
gonna
didn't
bow
even
down to you
finish
just because
my
you're a
story,
woman.
and it's my story. So you cannot tell me my story. That's the bottom line.
When you shut somebody, when you shut
He had
somebody
too
up
much
in the
time
middle of a
anyway.
sentence, when you shut somebody up in the middle of a sentence to repeat yourself
Yes.
numerous times,
Yeah, because you kept interrupting me. I couldn't even get my story across. Okay, you started yelling at me because you thought I was my daughter. Okay, you didn't. Yeah, but you didn't even. No, you did not. You didn't even let me finish. No, but you did not even let me finish, brother.
Mute him. He's being muted. You're being
Okay, so
muted.
what was
Bye.
Okay, so what was the...
Oh my God! You know what? I'm not even going to get my
No,
blood
he's being
pressure up
muted.
because
being
nobody
muted.
cannot even talk to
He's
you.
being muted. Goodbye.
My blood pressure ain't up.
No, I said mine.
My blood pressure ain't up.
I said mine.
Brother
God bless
Angry
you, brother.
Man, Brother Valdez. It's about time for me to wrap up, brother. We'll chop it up on the internet at some point in time because I'm way over my damn radio time. Thank you for calling in, brother.
Right,
you know it's always a pleasure, man. It's always a pleasure, man. We're gonna chop it up on the internet,
doubt,
man,
man.
in the next day or two, all right?
All right, man.
My man. Yeah, that was a pretty heated conversation. I liked it though, because that's how we do things here. But now, y'all know what's coming now.
And now it is time for Xavier's Inexcusable Extras.
Well, we spoke about the many shades of black tonight. A conversation that always gets heated and contentious. Why? Because no one wants to admit that they are prejudiced. For us as black people, to be prejudiced is often an oxymoron. The way that the most ostracized, disenfranchised, marginalized race on the planet can be prejudiced. How? But however, it is true. Maybe it comes from the people who we're raised around. Maybe it comes from the people we associate ourselves with. It could even come from society itself, but it is there. And as it has been there for quite some time, often when we discuss the light-dark thing, it's not often that we concede our bigoted nature exists. We often deflect to our own experiences with people of other skin tones, whether good or bad. Therefore, judging someone based on that skin tone is somehow justified, which is nonsense on its face. Let's face it. Is this not the way America has treated us? Judged us on the color of our skin. One black person does something, so all black people are likely to do the same thing or act the same way. So what makes this different? When someone says, I don't like dark-skinned people, I don't like light-skinned people, ask them why. And you usually get an answer like, they think they're better than us, or they are not as good as us. Either we don't like what we see in the mirror, or we like what we see in the mirror too much. Granted, there are some instances where certain skin tones will be preferred over others, especially in entertainment and media, which we know has played a crucial part in our color-struck conditioning. But unfortunately, some of us have bought into the division by color scenario, lighter than a paper bag, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, and so on and so on. All of it nonsense, regardless of what shade you happen to be. All of us are black, and no matter what shade you are, you will benefit from anything that is exclusively black, just like you will suffer from anything that excludes black. There's no better or worse color black. There's just different color black people. As much as we look at ourselves through the white man's eyes about most things, we don't do that when it comes to this. White America doesn't see light, dark, or anything in between. It sees black. So when we divide ourselves as black folks based solely on skin tone, not only is that playing into the white American narrative about color and keeping black on black prejudice alive, it is totally inexcusable. Anyway, I want to thank you very much. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. I want to thank the Angry Man from the Angry Man channel for chiming in tonight, getting in on a heated conversation. Y'all be sure to check the Angry Man channel out on YouTube. The brother does some good content. Y'all need to check him out. Check my joint out. Check the Proper Thought Series channel out while you're there too. Good show tonight, y'all. Next week, y'all, gonna be a crazy show. Wifey gonna be hosting next week, so boy, get ready for that one. I don't even know what it's gonna be about, but I know it's gonna be good. So tune in for that one. Check the YouTube page, check the website, check the Facebook page for the details because they will be on there. Once again, I'd like to thank the Angry Man for Lady Self-Made and Teacher Tanisha. I'm X. This is the Prophet of Thought series on Nubia Hood Radio, the sound of consciousness, and I'll leave you with 3 words like I always do. Open your minds. We out.
The Prophet of Thought Day. The Prophet of Thought Day.
Open your mind. Open your mind.